Do you feel that your mind goes in 20 different directions, overwhelmed, and you are tired? You don't know where to choose, what to choose. If that is your situation, then this is the video for you. Hi, this is Atya here. Welcome to PhDpreneur, where we discuss mindset, personal finance, and PhD. Today I am going to do a book review, and the name of the book is Essentialism. I have been reading this book lately. This book helps in summarizing or in deriving tactics about what to do and what not to do as far as minimalist living or essentialist living goes by. And I will explain what all that means, what all you can expect from this book. Now, what kind of book is this? This book is a non-fiction. It is a step-by-step guide on how to eliminate things which are distracting. It is a step-by-step guide for how to eliminate things which we don't want to do but we end up doing, which we don't have to do but we end up doing. So how to go about such a life? The author really gives his perspective in a very articulate manner. So let me explain to you what all this book is about. So the whole book is divided into 4 major sections. Part 1 is essence, part 2 is explore, part 3 is eliminate, and part 4 is execute. So these are the 4 major sections of this book, and the book proceeds very step by step manner in decoding what the author has to say. So let's move on to part 1, that is the essence. Part 1, the essence, is more about choosing and discerning what needs to be done. For example, if you take an exam, any exam, now there are 2 ways of studying for it. One is when you try to study the syllabus part by part and you study the entire syllabus without taking into account what kind of questions were asked in the previous exams. The second way of dealing with it is you go through past question papers, try solving them, see what all is asked in that. So that way it gives you more clarity as to which sections are important and you focus on that. I try to explain this book in layman's terms. The first example that I gave was a non-essentialist, and the second example that I gave was an essentialist approach. So by now you must have got an idea of what I am trying to say. Basically, working smart, not hard. That is the main crux of this book. Choosing what is important, discerning, then trying to analyze whether what is important is really that important, and trying to eliminate different things which do not fit into those categories. That is the essence, and that is explained in the first part. This section also speaks about a term called as trade-offs, which I always used to fear in early days. This book also speaks about trade-offs, which honestly I used to fear in my early days, but now I see trade-offs as something which is a requirement. Or trade-off meaning, let me explain with an example. For example, if somebody is trying to study or if somebody is trying to research for something, if a person has decided 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. as the designated time for that particular work, then if some kind of distraction comes over there, then you are trying to focus on the work and ignoring the distraction. That is the trade-off. The trade-off is instant gratification. Okay, so in the pursuit of something, some things will have to be let go. So the things which have to be let go are trade-offs. And it is also important to know that every goal or every pursuit has a trade-off, and we need to be okay with that. Part 2 of the book is designated to explore. Explore meaning here what the author is trying to tell is that different areas of life, for example sleep, play, all these things are equally important. So you cannot ignore those things to achieve a particular goal, because it will come in the way of the living essentialist life. I'm going to flash a quote now which will make things more clear to you in case you have not understood about this particular section. And also the ability to concentrate gets more sharper once these resources like sleep, making the work as good as play, being able to focus on the work increases. The next part of the book is dedicated to eliminate. Now the author gives a very clear example of this. There is a difference between pretty clear and actually very clear. If you wear glasses of a different number, you may see the things, but things may not be clear. So that is how the non-essentialist in principle lives. There is no clarity basically. Sometimes we think that TV and all this different distractions, they are required, but actually they are non-essentialist activities. So the difference over here is clarity, and the difference over here is eliminating activities or things which are not required. Saying yes to everything, not being able to say no, that is also a sign of non-essentialism. How to set boundaries and how to follow it up, that is also discussed. Moving on to the next section, that is execute. Now after understanding all these tactics, how do you actually apply it? And that is where this particular section will help. Keeping buffers is important. For example, if a particular task takes around 1 hour, then adding 50% to more to it, that is suggested. You dedicate 1.5 hours as a contingency. So the total duration would be 1.5 hours. Even if you think that you can finish it in 1 hour or 45 minutes. So keeping buffer times is essential. Measuring progress helps in understanding how far we have come and how much is there to go. And there is also an important note on flow state of mind over here, which is my favorite topic. Flow state of mind is nothing but you get absorbed in work to the point that you lose track of time, and it's an intense flow state. So there is a separate chapter on that. All in all, this book is an excellent system, or I can say a guide to form an excellent system to streamline all your work and to really analyze whether we are living an essentialist life or a non-essentialist life. So I hope you have enjoyed today's book summary. Let me know if you want me to review any other book. Looking forward to see you in the comments.